The trees of Jamestown and home. There is something about fall that brings the trees around us back into focus. Perhaps it's the crunch and crackle of their fallen leaves beneath our feet, or the rite of color that awakens us from our mental summer slumber. A few days ago, I was noticing the trees that surround our old home place, and a flood of memories came back. More than once I heard my father say about the giant wild hickory nut tree that stands by the barn. That's one of the tallest trees in Jamestown. I can stand on Main Street a mile away and see it. He hung our chain swing from its lowest limb, where as a child I swung and thought about the big new world around me. There is the old pecan tree by the kitchen window. Despite its million woodpecker holes, produced more pecans last year than all of its young surrounding upstarts. There is the massive maple tree that towers over the living room window. In 2005, I was so distraught by a dream that it was destroyed by a tornado, I recorded it in my journal. I was stunned when in 2007, according to the eyewitness account of a neighbor, a small tornado took out half of it during a summer thunderstorm. Fortunately, it fell parallel to the house and caused no damage. The tree provided shade for my elderly mother in a downstairs bedroom during the last years of her life. She did not want air conditioning installed, so even during the heat waves of the late 1990s, the shade of this massive tree and a floor fan kept her cool. It still stands lopsided, but providing shade and shelter. The maple tree that shaded our play area was a jungle gym in itself as we climbed and swung on its branches. I can see myself at age 12 sitting in the smaller maple tree by the mailbox reading Treasure Island. Jamestown is truly blessed with beautiful hardwoods. I still see trees that I remember from my childhood. While walking a month or so ago, I was caught in a heavy downpour. I ran to one of the huge cherry trees that stands between the street and City Lake Pool. I had to wonder if it was one of the trees that my mother sat beneath 50 years ago as she watched us swim. There is the old black walnut tree that hangs over Dillon Road at the bridge, the tree by the Mendenhall store that we would pass every Friday night on our way to McDonald's for a hamburger. And as a young woman, tired and sleepy, returning home from Greensboro, I would travel Guilford College Road. It was dark and narrow back then with a hairpin curve. When I would see the silhouette of the huge oak that once stood in front of Jamestown Friends Meeting Church, something inside of me would say, "You've made it. You're safe. You're almost home." Our trees surround us, seemingly cradle us, watching generations as they come and go. I appreciate Town Hall allowing the mammoth maples, despite their age, to remain in front. There can be such beauty in old things, especially in trees. When I would see the new construction in and around town, I would feel something unsettling in my soul. Barrenness, a foreign feeling that reminded me of Dorothy's words to Toto, "We're not in Kansas anymore." In writing this, I realized what was upsetting me. The absence of green, of shade, of strong trunks and limbs reaching heavenward. My hope and prayer is that some of these trees will be replaced and not forgotten.